Welcome back to another episode of the Strength and Speed Podcast. I'm your host, Strength and Speed owner and Conquer the Gauntlet pro, Evan Perperis. I have a special co-host with me. I have Helene Dumais. Helene, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Evan. Good to be there.
Yeah, it's good to have you. For those of you who don't remember Helene, last time we interviewed her, we were actually in Otherworld OCR, the gym in Frederick, Maryland, or Otherworld Fitness as it's now called. And we were talking about some of her accomplishments, including being the only woman to finish the 888-kilometer Infinitus. Is that what it's called?
Yes, the Infinitus race.
Give us I know you've got a pretty insane endurance resume, so give us just a couple of your other highlights from your background.
Right. So the big chunks are crossing the state of Florida, so 400 kilometer self-supported. The Survivor Run in Nicaragua, followed by the 100K. That is one of the most grueling 100K you'll find on the earth, I guess, because you have to climb 2 volcanoes back to back.
No big deal.
What did I do? No, I'm losing count. Oh, the Spine Race, which is 270 miles across Great Britain's one of the most grueling ones, self-supported in the dark and the cold. All of these have, of course, I ended up on podium, so that's why I'm talking about them. My last big one was 360K across the Swiss Alps, Swiss peaks. That was beautiful. Way too many elevation gain and loss. That was insane, but that was awesome.
Wow. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about that later if we have time. We are going to talk about Platinum Rig Relay 24-hour a lot during this episode, or at least for the second half. Before we do that, though, and before we bring on our guests, quick word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Mudgear. Mudgear makes those awesome OCR socks that you've been seeing on pretty much every athlete all over the place. They also just released a couple of new products. So they released a lifestyle tee. It's like an American flag shirt with people climbing the American flag like it's a rope climb, which is really soft. It's like one of the softest t-shirts I own. They released a seat shield. So it's like a cover that goes over your car seats, allowing you to get back in your car muddy, and then you just throw it in the wash after. It's actually a lot thinner than I thought it was going to be. Super nice, real easy to clean, and looks great on your car. So I recommend getting 2, so it's aesthetically appealing in your car. And then, and also because you're probably going to a race with a friend or a family member who's also going to be muddy. And then finally, the other new product is the Ruck Sock. So it's a sock specifically designed for rucking. So for those of you who are doing Go Ruck or, Death Race or some of the other kind of endurance races where you might be wearing boots or not traditional running shoes. It doesn't go all the way up to your knee, but it's kind of like mid shin there. And it's a little bit thicker. And I actually wore it this morning for a run and thought it worked well for that too. So it's actually kind of felt like a warmer pair of Mudgear socks. It was nice. So yeah, check those out over at mudgear.com. I don't know if our code CTG strong still works. If not, I think MRG 10 might work. Either way, Mudburn Guide has a code on their site. All right, let's bring on our guest. Today we have Sebastian Dion. I'm going to try to use my best accent there to pronounce his last name. But he was on the team that won the Platinum Rig 24-hour championship last year. A little bit more about his background. 2014, quit smoking and started doing OCR. He was a cross-country runner previously. Did a couple more in 2015, 3 or 4 more OCRs, and started falling in love with the sport through that. And then he also met Helene on social media and started following her survival run Nicaragua stuff and started getting into the endurance field and, getting deeper into OCR over the last couple of years. Like I said, his team won the 24-hour Platinum Rig Championship this past year. He ran the solo for World's Toughest Mudder, covering a total of 80 miles, which is awesome. Finished in the top 60 in pro at OCRWC in London as one of the 3 Canadians to finish with their band, which is a pretty awesome accomplishment. Got some awesome stuff coming up later this year. including Platinum Rig in Canada again, running World's Toughest Mudder again, and doing a 100-mile trail race. Plus, he just got back from Fuego y Agua in Nicaragua, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that a little. So, Sebastian, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Awesome. So I know we talked a little bit about your background in your intro. Just give us a little more depth. You know, did you play sports in high school and college, and talk a little bit about that transition into obstacle course racing?
Yeah, but no, I don't play. I don't play sports in high school. I was just a normal guy doing musculation, but not any athletic sports like running or something. I do cross country at primary grade.
When you say cross country, we talking cross country skiing?
No, cross country, cross country riding.
Okay,
like,
gotcha.
yeah.
Just making
Yeah.
sure we're on the same page.
Okay, so no, then I don't run after I entered the second at the high school because I started smoking, and I smoked for like 20 years when I decided to quit and going back to race after that.
Athletes who may be currently smoking or may have a family member that's smoking, how did you end up quitting? Like, how did you talk about that process? Was it just like cold turkey, you stopped one day, or did you like use gum or patches or something, or what was the
No, when I decided to quit, make a lot of time I want to quit, but can't realize that. But I have I don't an acupuncture with the needles.
Yep, acupuncture.
Okay, he treat my back because I have an injury at this time, and he asked me if I want to quit smoking. He can do something for me with that to just be good with that thing. So I entered the office on Monday, and at 5 o'clock, and I never smoke again after that.
That is wild. I've never heard that before. That is awesome. I love that. I totally did not know the answer to that question, what you were going to say. That's completely, just me being completely lucky with that question. That's awesome. All right. So you said, you know, on your intro, you said you started following Helene, started getting more into the endurance thing. Talk about getting involved in OCR and why you're, you know, maybe leaning more towards the endurance side of the sport.
Endurance just make me feel good when I'm just alone with myself, running for a very, very long hour, like survival run, 34 hour, Canada, survival run Canada. When I do 34 hour, I was just good with me to be alone a long way like that. So I have a very, not anxious, but I have a very stressful job, and being out there in that kind of race and endurance long time make me feel better. Just leave the pressure.
Awesome. Yeah, totally
Makes
understand
sense.
that. I think I'm sure Helene probably feels pretty similar, I would imagine. Or
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have a very stressful job, but yeah, it just feels, it's simple. It's such a simple answer that a lot of endurance athletes will end up saying, or it would be part of their answer. That's why we like to do that. It just feels good. It just feels good to be out there in the wild with ourselves. It's simple. It's it just brings you back to what's our, you know, I don't know, in our natural design, what we're designed to do. Just be out there moving forward on our own mean.
yeah. You just got back from Nicaragua, I don't know, what was it, a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago. And we're recording this on March 10th. So tell me a little bit about that event, because I know that this Fuego y Agua is a very, very unique event in the endurance world.
Yes, really. I was supposed to run that race 2 years ago, but I was injured. So I volunteering for the entire race, for the survival run and the trail. So I see the course from another side, and I really want to be there to race, to know how it is inside on the volcano. So when they announced this year's, I decided to come back and to race it with a friend. But it's an amazing race, but it's the most difficult thing I ever done. More than Survival Run Canada, more than World Toughest Mudder, more than anything. It's just insane. It's not running, it's like rock climbing, long way, huge gain of elevation, but ascension, really tough, really tough for the leg, very muscular, not like running at 5 minutes kilometers. Sometimes we just not advanced. We just trying to go front, but like 35 minutes per kilometer. So yeah, really tough.
Nice. And I think some people may not be familiar with it at all. So is it a Marc's course, or are you land navigating, or what is?
No, it's Marc. It's
okay.
A Marc course. Yeah.
Nice. Do they have you do challenges in between?
No. It's really just a trail running, but not a trail running because of all of the elevation. It's special. I have done like 125K. I have 200K and Tough Mudder this year, but it's really not the same.
Gotcha.
It's all about the elevation and the field, the terrain.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think I'm gonna take a pass on that one. I'm not a huge elevation guy. I don't like climbing mountains. But more power to you. That is impressive. Obviously, you're from Canada. Give me some of the. I know Canada has a unique obstacle course racing scene, right? Some of the companies stay up there; they don't come down to America. Have you raced? I'm assuming you've raced Northman before.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes. I am on the team of Northman race. So,
okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought. Tell me a little bit about Northman, because we've had Marco on the podcast before. We've had Claude, his wife, on the podcast before.
Yeah.
And a lot of the athletes in my group, every year we're like, oh, we're definitely going to go up to Northman. And then we start like laying out our calendar and it doesn't pan out right. But I still want to make it up there at some point. So tell us a little bit about the Northman race.
Northman is not like all of those OCR because it's more obstacle is more the ludic, Helene.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
They're more, yeah. So the obstacle at Northman runs are more fun or playful.
Okay.
Yeah.
More original. It's not just, let's say, rope climb or climbing over a wall as we are used to in other obstacle races. Much more original.
Yeah, and it's not just about running fast or being strong. It's also about sometimes you have to cut wood with a saw, or you have to take a bucket, going to the river, take some water, and going up a little hill, put that in another piece, climb your bucket with a rope. So you have to use finest, so it's not just about running fast and being strong. So it's cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Were you on Marco's Northman team for World's Toughest Mudder in 2017 or 18 doing the relay?
No, I was
Okay.
not there this year. No, but I will be with Marco this year in 2020 at the World Toughest Mudder.
Okay.
But
Yep.
we will running solo.
Okay. I think I saw you on the way out of World's Toughest. I can't remember who I said hi to, but it was one of the Northmen guys. And I think you were standing next to him.
Okay.
I thought you'd remember. Yeah, it's like random encounters with people on the way out of World's Toughest. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, looking forward to that. And, World's Toughest Mudder is now back on as of, I don't know, about a week and a half ago. So that's exciting. All right, let's start talking about Platinum Rig 24-hour relay. So your team went there and won last year. So first of all, who did you have on your team?
I have Damien Langlois-Verret, William William Brouard, and Frédéric Légaré.
Okay, I can't pronounce any of those, but I like
A
it.
bunch of French Canadian.
French Canadians, yeah.
Sovereign.
You guys are Team Platinum Rig, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Very impressive. Awesome. So tell us a little bit, for a lot of us weren't there, and we talked a little bit on a previous podcast with Jarrett Newby, whose team came in, I think, 4th or 6th. I can't remember. I think 4th.
I think 4th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Noob Sanity crew. So just for those who may not know, tell a little bit about, what the event looks like. And
It's like the best thing for any obstacle racer who loves to do obstacle in bunch, because that's all you have to do. It's not about running. It's just 400K. So it's fast. It's it's a 400K loop, but you do it back and forth. So 800 meters. So
400
for us,
meters.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
Not
it's-
400K.
Helene is
Yeah.
interested if it's 400K. She
Yeah,
wants to do that
Bring
one
it on.
solo.
No, so it's very fast. For us, it's about like 7.5 minutes per round with like 20-25 obstacle. It's really fast. We're thinking at the start that it would be long and we have break at the beginning of the race. We're thinking about doing like 2 or 3 laps every time. So before taking a break and change partner. But at the speed we do it, it's like impossible because we do it literally like a sprint. So every time it's just go at high speed, going back to the pit, changing people, go around like that for 24 hours. So it's more like a sprint run than an endurance run. We in the morning after the night we enter some round at like 4 minutes. So it's just insane after 16-18 hours of race.
I know, Helene, you're on the backside. You're actually working for Platinum Rig for this. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not working. I'm just helping them.
Okay.
Meaning they found me or I found them in 2014 when I was full out in obstacle course racing, and we kind of became friends since. So I helped them and they encouraged me in every crazy things I'm doing. So at this first edition, the Canadian one, where Sebastian and his team won, I was there helping. And the upcoming one this year, I'll be racing with Sebastian, actually.
Yeah.
But so it's really it's a very unique new concept. So it's very refreshing in the world of obstacle course racing to have this event. So even among the 24-hour event that's out there, we can't compare it because, as like Sebastian mentioned, there's no running. It's mainly obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. So if you love obstacle, it's going to be your thing. And so it's on a 400-meter track. And basically, there's the inside of the track filled with obstacle. And then you go on the outside of the track for more obstacles. So you have to cover 800 meter filled with obstacle to complete 1 lap. And so it's a team championship. So in teams of 4, if you're in the competitive category, you must have at least 1 woman on the team. And so so here I'm saying like, obstacle after obstacle, people got to keep in mind that we've designed it so that it's accessible, it's doable, right? It's not like crazy, like the most grueling rig you've probably seen, at Words OCR, World Championship. So, people know Platinum Rig for their rigs, but for this event, all the obstacles are scaled down. Yes, you're going to have a few rigs, but you have just a variety of walls, rope climb, carries, A-frame, cargo net, some original ones that you're only going to see there. And it's all doable, right? So everyone are welcome for the event. You're going to make it. And the cool thing is that constantly the course will change. So sometimes you'll have 40 obstacles open. Sometimes they're going to close a few obstacles, and then they're going to modulate transform them. So let's say a 6-foot wall can become an inverted wall. One of the, let's say, vertical cargo net will become a flat, and you have to go over or under without touching the ground, let's say. So it's not boring. You're constantly challenged, and ooh, what did they open? What did they close? And as Sebastian mentioned as well, through the night, sometimes you may end up with just barely just a few obstacles. So it's much more of a running challenge. So this is where, with your team, you can come up with different strategies. And let's say through when, okay, there's just a few obstacles out there only, just send your best runner. And if, let's say, you have more grip oriented obstacle open, so maybe send more often your guy that is strong with the grip. So it's not so much about building the strongest team, you know, with all the strongest guy, but to come up with the best strategy. And again, strategies are infinite in that case, because it's on a track. So all the teams are set up in the middle, all the camps. It's like a big party at the same time. And you can see everything all the time. So you can encourage and support and even cue one of your teammates as he's running the lap, you know. So you're never alone. You're never in the dark moment alone in the mud or in the cold. You won't get that. You're only gonna, you know, you feel the excitement the whole time of the 24 hours, because you're always with your team, with supporters, with spectators, and there's always people beside you as well, other racers. So it's fun, you know. You don't get, again, in dark, lonely moment where, okay, come on, you gotta, you know, move your ass on your own. There's always someone behind or close by to kind of push you, challenge you. So that keeps the rhythm really fun and challenging.
It sounds great. It's the event I'm most excited for in 2020. So I plan on coming to the USA one August 1st and 2nd weekend. And
definitely, I want to see you there. I'm really curious. How are you gonna do?
I'm coming. I think I'm gonna run team, not individual.
Okay.
Just because my priorities this year, I think team aligns better with some of the other races I have going on. But I am excited.
If you go in a team, and again, if there's 2 categories, so the competitive one and the open one. So in competitive one, each of the teammates must at least cover 20% of the lap. So, you know, that's one thing to keep in mind. So you cannot, because let's say I know Ryan Atkins has his team already registered, so he couldn't just run 80% of the time and the rest of his team do a 20. So at least everyone must complete 20% of the 24-hour of the lap.
Nice. I like that. That's good. Definitely competitive. That's where I'll be.
Yeah. So you're going to go for the competitive category. There's like right now, there's prize and money prize and prizes. And right now the purse is at $10,000. It starts at $10,000 US. But it's a progressive purse. So the more registration there are, bigger the purse will become.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's so awesome. So me and jumping back to the Jarrett Newby episode we did talking about Platinum Rig, we were actually talking about how, you know, that's a common thing in motocross, the sport he has a background in, but we've never seen anyone do it in OCR, or at least anyone do it well, or a major brand. So I think that's awesome to hear you guys are doing that.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of prizes also, not only for there's podiums, but not only for the 3 first place, but also for the 4th and 5th. So people will get a lot out of it. Lots of swag, for sure. And I was thinking about something else. Oh yeah, the cool thing too. So, you know, if people like obstacle, well, great, that's their thing, and we make it obstacle mandatory. Now, again, as I mentioned, though it's designed so that it's accessible. So if, let's say, you get many options to be able to have mandatory obstacles. So first, you do it. If you can't do it, you will have an option B beside that obstacle. let's say you get to a rig and you're just exhausted and you have no more grip, like, damn it. And so you can try as much as you want the obstacle, but the clock is still ticking, of course. Then you can decide, no, I'm going to go for option B beside, which could be something just lighter, easier. Let's say just go over a cargo net and plus a carry. So of course you'll be able to do it, but it's going to take you longer. So you're still, you know, disadvantaged if you don't do the main obstacle. And you still have a third option. Let's say for one reason or another, you cannot do this, the one on the side, the option B. You can still run back to the pit crew, the exchange area, and tag one of your teammates. Your teammate has to just redo the whole course until he gets to where you were, and then keep going for you. So in the end, you're still penalized if you do take that option in the time. So, but at least, I mean, there's always an option for you to keep moving forward.
I like it. I think it's clever. Yeah. You know, here on Strength and Speed, we're a fan of mandatory obstacle completion. So yes. I think that's a pretty good compromise with, you know, obviously you don't want to eliminate teams if they can't do an obstacle, especially in a 24-hour event, right? That would right. suck to pay all that entry fee and then get bumped 6 hours in. But I think that's a good compromise to win the obstacle course race and to place well in the obstacle course race. You have to do the obstacles.
Yep.
Sounds fairly intuitive, but not always the common theme among all brands there.
Yes. And so when you do as a team, when you complete a lap, then you got to write your team number and I think the time you finished. So in that area, there's like a huge board where everybody has to write it down. It takes like 3 seconds and everybody has to do it anyway. So it's not like you're losing time. But the cool thing is that everyone can follow who's where. All right, let's say team, Team Sebastian, Team Platinum Rig is at 15 laps, where the other team is at 17 laps. So you can follow the competition on that board the whole time.
Awesome. That sounds great. I literally can't wait. Like I said, this event I'm most excited about, and I'm actually skipping one of my Conquer the Gauntlet races to come up there. So.
Ooh, that's big.
Yeah, that's big. You know, it's got to be important if I'm willing to do that. So.
Yeah, we'll make sure we acknowledge that when you get there.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great event, as we've been saying. We're going to start wrapping things up here. Before we go, though, first, Sebastian, where can people find you racing this year, besides Platinum Rig and World's Toughest Mudder?
Yeah, World's Toughest Mudder, 24 Platinum Rig. I do 100 miles at the Gaspésia Saint in Gaspésie in end of June, I think.
Yes.
And yes. I am already registered for a race from Endurance Society, Saint-Domingue, in June too, but I don't know what is the race because we don't have any indication at this time. So it's like 24-ish more, or I don't know what it is. So yeah.
Nice.
For sure, I will do a lot of obstacle race like Northman, Dead End Race. I want to try Bonfrog too at New York in August. So yeah.
Cool. Plans to go to OCR World Championships again this year, or you skip
Yes, absolutely.
Nice.
For the 3 event.
Nice. Awesome. And Helene, what else? Do you have anything else crazy going on, or you taking an off year?
I know, I can't stop. I wonder when am I going to stop, but no, not this year. So next big one is definitely the 24-hour Platinum Rig, the Canadian one. So June 6th. Then you're going to have the American World Championship one, August 1st and 2nd nearby New York. I do have also that same event Sebastian mentioned in Gaspésia. So this is in Quebec, beautiful area. So he's running the 100-mile. I'm running a new race. They actually designed the name is called, it is called the 60 Hours of Helen. So
You have your own race named after you? This is the
yes,
best.
yes. So we just came up with that. So it's a 150-mile self-supported race over there. So that's my race. That's the end of the June, sorry. There's another one in July. There's an all crazy concept, but the backyard Big Wolf Ultra.
Yep.
It's more and more people talk more and more about this concept. So you gotta run for something mile on the hour until last minute standing. So I'm gonna do this here in Quebec in July. I got some of the things I'm working on. It's cooking. If this happens in October, it's gonna be huge, big. We're talking about the Himalayas, but
all right.
yep.
I'm gonna have to like star, you know, on Facebook you can make people's information appear first. I'm gonna have to star you, Helene, so I can keep up with all this, because
Yeah.
this is all good
Yeah.
stuff. And we might have to bring you on the podcast again at the end of the year or early next year to catch up to see how all these things went.
Sure.
All right, and since we have 3 people on the podcast, we're going to do, you know, tell us one thing people would be surprised to know about you. Let's go with Helene first. Helene,
Yeah.
Well, something I got 2 things, because the first one is I sing, but maybe people started to know that because I started to post stuff on Facebook. People didn't know before, but yeah, I sang before I ran, so I'm a singer.
When you get lonely in the middle of ultras, do you sing in like the middle of the woods?
Okay. Oh yeah. If you're looking for me, just listen and I'll be the one singing. And well, other thing is before all this, before I was into sport, I was a sommelier, so a wine expert.
Oh, weird.
So, yeah,
that's
right?
Wild.
Really wild. Then when I found out, like, I'm actually good at running, so I just stopped everything. Like, that's it, ciao, bye. No more restaurant, no more working in that environment.
Huh.
Yep.
Interesting. All right, Sebastian, you're up. What do you got?
Yeah, but I talked about it, I think, in the beginning of the podcast, but I was a smoker for like more than 20 years. And I have never think about running like 21K before. So before I quit smoking, anybody can ask me for if I can do that a day. I would have said never, but for now, I would just try to find always longest thing to do and to improve and to challenge myself. So yeah.
Cool. So I usually try to do one that relates to my guests. I've never smoked, which I don't think people would be surprised to know that. And I've kind of used this one already, but you know, I did act and I was in musicals in high school. So I was in chorus in high school. I was in band.
Nice.
Maybe if you start a GoFundMe, I'll release me as a senior singing Friedrich from Sound of Music with like a super high note, the clock song before they go to bed. So
nice. We should exchange videos because I've done some musical as well.
Nice. Give me some musicals you were in.
I did the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, serious? That's like serious stuff.
Serious stuff. Yeah. I was younger though, but yeah, I can't get those high notes anymore.
I don't want to know if I can hit them. It's slightly embarrassing. So we'll keep that to myself. And I'm glad that's on VHS and not converted to digital or DVD at this point.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take off. Before we go, shout outs to friends, family, sponsors, etc. Sebastian, you can go first.
Sponsor Platinum Rig, Northman Race, Privix, Alerab. I don't know if you know about maple syrup, even from Quebec, but it's the best thing to have in race.
What is it? The food?
Bricks. It's maple syrup.
Ah,
but for racer, I think they boil it not at the same point of normal maple syrup, and they add like Himalayan salt inside of it, so it just like
So good.
So, yeah.
Helene, you need to bring me some for the
Oh,
platinum rig.
definitely. I will. I know this is like heaven.
Yeah.
I don't think they
I
sell
run-
them here, or if they do, you got to do it online probably.
Online, you can find
Yeah.
them in the US. This is magical, honestly.
Can you say
Yeah.
the name one more time?
Bricks.
Bricks.
Okay.
BREX. Yeah.
Okay.
BRIX. X. Yep.
It's
All right, Helene, what do you got?
So definitely big shout out to Platinum Rig. They've been going at it. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there because I can go on. Exact Nutrition, Exo, Cricket protein bars, Osprey Pack, Zero Shoes. I just discovered Zero Shoes. I'm in love. I found these shoes. Icebreaker, can go without these. Shout out to my coaches, the Weedy Mile Tribe. Shout out to the backers of the film Facing Infinitus that we're still working on it to get the long version for the backers out there, hopefully this spring.
Oh, awesome. So you got to, are you the center point of the documentary, or is it just about Infinitus in general?
I play a role in there, obviously, but it's not just about me.
Okay, cool.
It's about the race, yep. So
Cool.
the short version is sent right now to the film festival. So that's why I cannot still release the full version for a general public. Gotta wait till all the
Okay.
festival are hit.
All right, make sure you pass me, if there's like a teaser trailer or a trailer online or something, make sure you pass me that link so we can post it with this podcast.
Definitely.
Well,
Everything can be found on my website, helenedumais.com. You got documentary film up there. All the info, the teaser is there.
Cool. Well, now I'm even more excited. That's awesome. Speaking of filming, over the since OCR America 2, for my listeners that are familiar with that, we've been working, when I say we, I mean Stokeshed, the guy who produced all the little 3-minute videos for the 8-day event, has been working on a documentary that is focused on OCR / essentially me, Ultra OCR man, right? Working on shooting some more film and going to release that. So head over and give Stokeshed a like if you're not familiar with them. They make some really good content. And he produced all these, he shot, produced, edited, and published all these videos in under 24 hours. It was insane. These like little 3-minute clips. So we shot a bunch of stuff this past weekend as of recording this. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then other than that, my biographical book, Ultra OCR Man, is out now on Audible, digital, and hard copy. So people can head over and pick that up. If you think I talk too fast, don't worry. Someone else narrates it for you. So,
That's a good one.
so it won't be a problem. You don't have to hear my fast-talking New York accent. All right. Other than that, we have Bleg mitts for sale again, back in stock, both the Extreme and the Lights. And then my other books are all available on sale at teamstrengthspeed.com, both Motoring Guide's OCR Bucket List and Strength and Speed's Guide to Elite Obstacle Course Racing is back in stock. And then, of course, the Ultra OCR Bible. Once we run out of hard copies of Ultra OCR Bible, we are done with that. I'm not going to reprint those because it's expensive. Thanks again, both of you, for coming on. And looking forward to seeing you at a Platinum Rig Relay and then World's Toughest Motor. So keep in touch.
Right.
And
yes, sir.
We'll talk more later.
Keep up the good work, Evan. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.